Hey, welcome back with Elevation Station. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 3, and I have another guest this week. I have a close friend of mine, Najeen. She came to sit with us, talk with us, and elevate with us. So thank you, Najeen, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So today, well, before we even get into anything, just if you want to, tell the people a little bit about yourself. That's a tough question because
That is a tough
I
question.
hate when people be like, "Tell me about yourself" and things like that. But I'll just ask you, how you been lately? What's been going on? What's new in life?
Um, Nothing really. I just had a baby, so I'm trying to adjust to mom life and going back to school. I'm about to graduate soon.
About to
Yeah.
graduate. When?
In May,
What's your?
May 4th, I think it is.
I feel like you just graduated.
Yeah, I'm getting a second bachelor's degree, so I'm trying to get up out of school so I can get me a job, a career.
Yeah, I feel that. So that's what's up. And today, what we're gonna talk about is double standards, right? We know it's a lot
Yes.
of double standards out there. Double standards, and we'll kind of move into. So I won't announce the second like part of it, but we're gonna talk about double standards. So I know many of you guys have probably experienced it.
Definitely
Najeen
have.
probably has experienced it, and I just want to ask you, like, just between men and women, what are some double standards um, that
Um,
you could think about?
I feel like there's a lot of double standards when it comes to relationships, like
Yeah,
and being single, being taken. That topic is very broad within women and men. I feel like men have it easier than women in society now because I think that a lot of times people are more willing to forgive them compared to willing to forgive a woman because you think that she has to keep herself classy. She has to hold her head up high. She has to act a certain way. For a man, he could be sagging his pants. He could walk around with multiple girls, and he's not looked at in any kind of way. So I feel like with that topic, it's really big, especially like relationships, like the player
the player versus the
versus the
hoe.
hoe.
I was gonna bring that up. So, like, because a man can have many different, like you said, like many different females,
Mm-hmm.
or talk to different people, and or just play females. But at the end of the day, like it's celebrated, especially between your boys. Even some girls will tell a guy like, "Okay, I see you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, "I see you with that girl," and you know what I'm saying. But if it's a girl, immediately guys for sure we're gonna think, okay, that she's a thought or
Mhm.
that kind of stuff, and even girls would be like, yeah, she's, you know what I'm saying. They'll even do the same thing and be
Yeah.
like, yeah, she's just hopping around, but whole time both people are single.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So what's your take on that?
I have a lot of takes on that. Like,
You
as
think
far
it's right?
as I personally don't think the double standard is right because if you're doing those things as a woman or a man, you should be held accountable for it.
Yeah,
So I don't think that it should be like, oh, she a hoe, but oh, let me dap him up because he got 5 different girls on him. Like that's not. I don't think that's cool to me. If you was a hoe as a
that's not
girl,
attractive.
then yeah, then you a hoe as a boy. I
Yeah,
don't care if you're single or whatever, but like you can't just think of a woman as a hoe and then next thing you know he's doing the same exact thing and you praise him for it. Because
yeah,
there's a lot of times girls, they're single and they like to figure out what they like. They
yeah,
might hop from one guy to another guy and think that it's okay because they're trying to figure out who they like if they can see themselves with that person or
hmm,
if that person makes them happy. There's a lot of different things that go into like trying to get into a relationship with somebody. But when a woman does it, it's kind of like, oh, why is she jumping from this person to that person? But for a man, it's like, oh, okay, he got that girl. All
hmm,
right. Well, he didn't like her because she was doing this and that. But they never look at the guy like, well, what was wrong with him? Why is
right, right.
why is he over here jumping to the next person?
And like you
So
said, we don't know like the story whether she
exactly.
intended on being with that guy and everything was good. So maybe she opened up her legs or whatever happened, you know what I'm saying? But she didn't feel
Yeah.
love,
And
so then
that's
she went
another
to.
thing. Like a lot of times I feel like with guys, you can see guys with girlfriends, right? So like
Mhm.
you can be out in the club and the guy might have a girlfriend with them. But the minute a girl has a guy friend with her, it's like, are you talking to that guy? oh, is that your boyfriend? Oh, you have a boyfriend, so what you doing with him? Why
Yeah.
you got him around? But like, if a guy has a girl and he got his girlfriend at home, and she's just a friend, they're out in the club or wherever they're going, they're just hanging out, chilling. They're just friends. It's like they don't look. No one cares about it because there's like, oh, they're just friends. But me as a girl, if I'm out and I have a fiance at home, they're like, well, what's she doing with him? I thought she was with that
Yeah.
boy. Like,
Yeah.
so what's going on? So I feel like that's also a double standard. You see people out in public and you're like, okay, she got a man back home. What
Yeah.
is she doing with him? And he could be her best friend or someone she knew since she was a child. But she's gonna be looked at as a hoe because she's not with the man that she's actually with in the relationship.
Let me ask you this. What you think about domestic violence? Because I think that's a big one too. Like, I think that's a big one. Let me just ask you this instead. Would you, if you're angry at Malcolm, would you put your hands on Malcolm? I'm sorry, Malcolm.
I wouldn't.
I'm looking
No,
out
I
for you.
don't. I
Though.
don't think I could. I don't think I would slap him in the face or punch him inside the chest or nothing like that. I don't think I'm bold enough to do something like that, especially because I respect him as a person. Now I might get a little closer up to him, and be like, blah blah blah, in your face just to see what you gonna do.
Just to see what.
That's just the kind of person that I am. I'm working on myself. God is still working on me.
Amen.
But I'm not. I'm not gonna go in. Because I wouldn't want him to,
get up in your face.
Get up in my face. Now, the minute that someone pushes me or shoves me or like tries to push me back, I might push you or nudge you a little. Yeah, but that's not healthy. That's not healthy to be in that kind of relationship. But no, I don't think I could see myself hitting him. If you're making me that mad where I just want to punch you in the face, I just need to walk away. Right. Because now I'm not just jeopardizing what's going to happen to you or us in our relationship, but I'm jeopardizing my future. The police going to get called or whatever. I'm going to go to jail. Right, exactly. Or I just wouldn't want that. And especially now that I'm a mom, I would definitely not want to try to engage in that kind of violence because I want to be an example for my son as well. Mm-hmm. So I definitely can't see myself putting a hand on him, but I know some women do. They get bold, they get mad, they get in the moment where they just go and they slap the crap out of a guy. So wrong. And I honestly think that's wrong because if he was to lift up his hand and slap you, you'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's time to call the cops and put him away.
Exactly. And I feel like that is definitely a double standard.
I don't think nobody should, I don't think the man should hit a woman. I don't think a woman should hit a man.
Exactly.
But let's just say a woman is hitting a man. Mm-hmm. What's he supposed to do? It's some, and I'm not.
That's a really good.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I would do. I'm not putting my hands on nobody though. Well, I'll tell you. So like I'm saying, like, what is he supposed to do? You got a female that's all up on him. You feel me? And he probably swinging at him, punching him in his arm, and for the most part, unless he's just one of those dudes that don't care about hitting a woman, like you're not just gonna automatically turn around and just start hitting her. But I'm saying like a person that's giving you like, hey, stop touching me. Mm-hmm. Hey, you keep trying me. Stop putting your hands on me. I'm not touching you. And telling you to get away. And she's like,
and she's still going.
She's gone. She's following you from room to room.
You're asking me what you think that he should do? I think he should restrain her.
I think he should call it. I think.
But how are you going to get to the cell phone if she beating you up? Right?
Facts. I'm trying to be politically correct. He should call the cops. But I think at that point, he has the right not to like straight up. Let me just say what I would do. Okay. All right. In that situation. And I'm not going to talk about my wife because I wouldn't touch my wife at all. But let's just say I'm out in a parking lot or something. Some lady just starts snapping on. She's going crazy, right? Mm-hmm. Going crazy, hitting me, touching me. I'm not going to punch you, but I will take you for a nice little sky ride. Like I always said from day one, like if a girl's out of pocket and she's punching me and putting her hands on me, I would probably like pick them up and, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of grab them.
Slam her. I'm just kidding.
It depends how bad I am. I just might. I just might. I don't know, but I would never be in, it'll take me a lot to get to that level. Like, I wouldn't be in that situation. I would probably pull off and leave by then. But I'm just saying, because I'm just speaking for like, the guys out there that has done stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely think that you shouldn't just let her, haul off on you.
Because it's like, okay, now you got all these bruises,
Yeah.
whatever, and you go to your job, you go somewhere, to back to school, back to your class. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's
Mhm.
gonna be like calling the cops for you, or.
Yeah,
But if it was a female
definitely.
and she has scars, which
What
is
happened?
horrible,
Yeah.
but it's like, what happened? Oh
Mhm.
no, let's
I
get
definitely do
police
think it's a
involved.
double standard
Yeah,
with it.
I think
I
it's
feel
a
like
double
a lot
standard.
of guys get in those kind of situations, and a lot of them don't know what to do. They're not because you're not used to that happening to you. You don't
Right.
expect a woman to just start beating you up.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do,
And it's a
but
shocking situation because she's not a man. Like you would
yeah.
have a
And
different
there's
approach
girls
if
out here
it was a
that can
man.
really fight.
Right? Yeah. But I would say if I'm not a man, clearly, but if I was a man, I would try to restrain her if she was doing the most like that. I would try to restrain her. I might do what you said, grab her. I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily slam her,
No,
but
I take that
I'll
back.
grab her,
Yeah, I wouldn't slam
and
nobody.
I'm
I wouldn't slam nobody. If it was if there was a couch there,
no,
if
she
there was
was
a
a
couch,
big person. You can't pick her up
I,
in the sky,
yeah, no,
I'm just saying, you gotta think of all situations, all
that's
sides
true.
of the fence. She could be a big girl. How you gonna pick her up?
That's true. I'm not picking nobody up, man.
I just think that you
I'm
should
gonna
restrain her.
restrain. Yeah.
And if she's not listening, then that's their cue to try to de-escalate the situation and walk away. But I definitely don't agree with having to punch her in the face because your strength is a lot.
Yeah.
You're
You can
more
break her
strong
bones. That's why I said like I take that back. I wouldn't slam nobody.
There's a lot of situations you see that I've seen one of them where I think it was Bow Wow, the elevator. The elevator. I don't know if it was Bow Wow or one of them. You didn't see
You
it?
talking about Ray Rice?
No.
Ray
Bow
Rice was on
Wow.
the
He was on
elevator.
an elevator.
Bow Wow got beat up. I'm not gonna say he got beat up, but it was a domestic violence situation where he got like he had that
Scratches and all
mugshot
kinds of stuff on him, and the girl was beating him up in the elevator or whatever.
Not much happened.
And
She
not
did.
much happened.
She went to jail though, right? But
I
it was
don't
like
think
for a
so.
day. I don't know what it was. I don't know
But a
about that
lot of the
situation.
people on the Instagram, social media,
They were
like,
laughing at him.
They were
clowning him.
Yeah, and like saying like, oh, you just let her hit you, blah 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 blah. Talking about, well, he probably taunted her to do it and all
Right.
that.
But
and
when
I just
it's
don't like that. But when it's a girl, and next thing you know, like it's like roles are reversed, and he's over here punching her. Well, why are we not asking her what she did to make him mad?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna give
feel
you
like
another
it's
example, and then I'll switch to something else. But Javante Davis, this is a boxer. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So he was wrong, right?
For the incident where
he just grabbed his
girl and took her out of that event recently, right?
Yeah.
That was the baby mama, yeah.
So he grabbed her and took her out, or was like, you know what I'm saying,
yanking her up by her arm.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So he got in trouble for that, rightfully so, right? Yeah, he got booked. I think just took him into processing or whatever. I don't know. You know, they got money, so they be out the next whatever. So, but I'm just saying, let's say he was sitting down and his BM grabbed him. It was like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Grabbed him the same way that he grabbed her.
It would still be a problem in my eyes.
You think she would have got in trouble?
I think
it just would have got recorded and been laughed at.
Exactly. I don't think she would have gotten in trouble for it. But in my eyes, I think that would have been a problem too.
That's wrong. Yeah, but I'm saying like the double standard is that nobody would have.
Yeah.
Got, you know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have gotten taken as serious.
Exactly.
And especially because he's a boxer.
It
makes it even worse. Because first off, your hands are, I think they're certified, where you can't even get into fights with regular people.
Yeah, they're legal.
So next thing you know,
illegal.
Next thing you know, you're grabbing your baby mama. Your hands are already certified. You can't be doing nothing like that.
Yeah.
And she's a woman,
and I'm saying if she did it right, and he's a boxer. Like Ari was always, I think when they were, and I don't mean to talk people's stuff, but they was always playing around and she was always hitting them. But it's like, why are you provoking somebody who's
That
You know what I'm saying?
their hands are certified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like why would you play around like that? Because if he snaps, now he's going to jail for.
for life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. But anyways, that's double standards. One more, right? So we talked about players versus hoes and how their perspective on that and domestic violence. And then I watched this video. It's about sexual harassment.
Mm-hmm.
I won't talk too much about sexual harassment, but we all know it exists as a double standard. I watched this YouTube video, and it's this couple, and they were like, okay, we're gonna do a video on sexual harassment and kind of get like the a response from the audience. They were at like a park, and they'll get a response from when she's like assaults him and when he does it to her, when he harasses her. So obviously, when she was doing it, nobody was like, you know what I'm saying? He was telling people like, yo, get her off me, help me. She's grabbing me. Why? I don't know this girl. And everybody was just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and walking away
SOL.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when they switched roles and he was trying to talk to her, he didn't even grab her, but he was just like trying to talk to her. She was yelling at him. Immediately, guys were running up. Hey, bro, what are you doing? Leave her alone. She said she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that was a huge, like,
you know what I think about that? I feel like, and that's not to justify it, to make it seem like it's right. I'm not saying that. But I feel like a lot of people, they see things like that happening and they're like, well, he's a man.
He can protect himself. Yeah, exactly.
But she's a woman and he's a man, so he's stronger than her.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna get in. Like a lot of guys will try to de-escalate that situation because they're like, well, she's a woman, she can't really protect herself.
That makes sense.
Compared to a man, it's like, okay, well, he's a man. If anything, he could just knock her out right now and run away.
Yeah, but that's messed up.
And it is a double standard. I'm not saying it's right, but a lot of times people see that as like, okay.
What if like she's harassing him, right? And then because she doesn't get her way, she turns around and maces him or something. You know what I mean? Like she might not be physically strong.
Or tases him, and
takes him and crazy like that. You never know.
In the trunk car and then goes and rapes him while he's unconscious.
Never know.
You just never know with situations like that.
Never know. But for me, this is wrong because I just never got into people's business. I've seen where guys are yelling at females, and I'm just like, oh, they arguing. You know what I mean? So I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. But if I see something too far, where he's like grabbing her or stuff like that, I would probably try to intervene.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would,
like
but I don't want to get
case basis.
Yeah,
like, it just depends on how you're everything's looking.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's put into your spirit of, I think that girl might need some help. Let me go help her out, or vice versa.
Or I feel like they just being ratchet.
Yeah.
Oh, they just being ratchet. They just snapping on each other.
Yeah, next thing you know, they both gonna start turning and start arguing at you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What are you in our business for?
Exactly.
We do this all the time. Mind your business, because some people be like that too.
Exactly.
So it just depends.
Another big double standard, right? And we'll kind of switch gears. So another big double standard is cheating. This is a big topic. Let me ask you this: Why do you think, from a woman's perspective, why do you think men cheat?
Well, I personally think that men cheat because I feel like they were born that way. I feel like honestly, because I feel like I read something in the Bible that was like, men are like tempted, like they have this kind of lust.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessary to justify that for cheating, but I honestly think that they were created where it's like temptation is a lot easier for men. So they get in situations where, I don't know how to put it, like, it's like their natural instinct, I guess, And I feel like another reason why men probably cheat is because they're not really assured of who they are. So they have to go out and they got to seek validation because maybe they're too comfortable where they're at. Or
they're not getting validation in the house or whatever.
And they might be getting validation in the house, but they still might want to seek out validation from other people. Because you do have men like that as well that want, like your wife or your girlfriend, whoever it is you're in a relationship with, they might be like, oh, you look good, this, that, and third. You're in a relationship with that person, but some people might want validation from other people.
Yeah.
So they might go out and be like, okay, this girl gave me a compliment. I'm feeling good. I still got it, So it's a natural instinct in them to like carry on that conversation with the person who they're not in a relationship with. And some men don't even like they're sorry, no offense to y'all, but some men are stupid. They they think that it's just a natural. They think it's a natural like conversation. It's no big deal. Like a lot of times men don't make it as a big deal, and women see it as that's disrespectful. You're disrespecting me. Like you might not see it as a big deal to be over here giving your social media to this girl who's not your wife, who's not your girlfriend, who you're not in a relationship with. But they see it as, oh, she's just one of my Instagram. She's just one of my Snapchat story. What's the big deal about it? I'm not sleeping with her, So I honestly think that they don't really think about it before they do things. Like I said,
I think you made a good point with lust. I'm not gonna go into that right now, but that's a good point because that's something that I think all men like every day you're gonna struggle with lust if you're a man. It's just something that you have to want to conquer. If you don't, then it'll get a hold of you and things start happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I won't go into that though. What do you think about women? Like, why do women cheat? 'Cause we got both people that cheat.
I think a lot of times women cheat because their man cheats, or they might cheat.
So out of revenge.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of times, like at least 70 to 80% of the time, when a woman cheats, it's because her man cheated. So now she's upset because she's not getting the attention that she wants from her man, and she's like, "Well, he did it, so he can't get mad at me if I do it because he just did it. So I'm gonna go out and do it to other people." Or a woman might cheat on a man because of her past relationship. She got cheated on in her past relationship. So now she might be in a good relationship with a man, but because she has this little thought in the back of her head that, well, her past relationship, her man cheated on her. How do I not know whether or not he's cheating on me? So I'm going to just go
So you don't think they just do it? Some of them do it like men for like lust? No?
I feel like some women, yeah, like it is a lust instinct too. But like I said, women are emotional. So when they cheat
with emotions.
Yeah, with emotions.
So they could just be feeling somebody else a little bit more. Like this guy at their job gives a lot of compliments and their man.
Or they may be cheating so that they can get their actual man's attention. Where I might take
attention. I'm out of here after that.
But some people stay with you. Some people stay like, oh, I'm not giving her the attention I want.
That's why a double standard too.
And it is a double standard. I'm not saying it's right. I'm
saying like why, like when a woman cheats, guys, it's like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to stay or work things out. But when
a man cheats, it's like he wants you to accept him and take him back. But the minute a woman cheats, it's like, I'm out of here. You cheated on me, and she might not even slept with the person, and he's already gone. The minute you admit it, I cheated. All right, I'm packing up my stuff. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
You disrespectful. But the minute he cheats, it's like, oh, please, baby, take me back. Take me. It was no reason.
Yeah.
It was no I just did it because I wasn't thinking. That's like the first excuse to me that a lot of men say. I wasn't thinking about it. Well, you should have been thinking about it because we're in a relationship. Yeah. So now you're basically telling me that you weren't thinking about my feelings while we're in a relationship.
They say, I'm not gonna say what I want to say,
but I mean, it is definitely a double standard. I do feel like women, they have lust. Some women cheat because they are just cheaters. But a lot of times, I feel like 75-80% chance most of the time women cheat if they're in a relationship, like if they're in like a committed relationship. Because some people be like, we're dating and you're cheating. Some people say that you're cheating even if you're dating, but you're not really necessarily cheating because you're not in a relationship. But it just...
Oh, so you think... Let me ask you this. So you think cheating when you're dating is not really cheating?
Not if you're
Like
not
okay,
if you're a committed relationship. Not if
I
neither
mean
of you
boyfriend
have.
girlfriend.
If
Like
you're boyfriend or girlfriend,
yeah,
oh for sure, it's considered cheating if you're talking to somebody else. But
you mean if you
if
guys
you're
are just
just
talking?
dating, like, because this
Oh,
this
I feel
dating,
you.
you know what I'm saying, there's
I
this
feel what you're
dating,
saying.
like,
Just going out
say
from
example
time to
for
time.
example,
I think women and men in the dating phase, like if you're just seeing somebody but y'all not really a thing, I think you're open to have that same encounter or in relationship with other people.
yeah, but I've heard of instances where you might not have. So, for example, you might not have claimed me as your girlfriend, right? But we're talking to each other. We've been talking to each other for 6 months. Next thing I know, we're not together because I don't have the girlfriend title. You don't post me on Instagram. Like, no one knows that we're together. We're just,
No
people
one knows
see us
you're
as
talking.
we're just
Yeah,
talking, we're just dating, right?
yeah,
Because he hasn't claimed you as his girlfriend yet, and you haven't claimed him as your boyfriend. But I've seen instances where girls will get mad if he is talking to somebody else while they're talking, and they consider it cheating, even though they're not in a relationship with each other. But I see that as, well, are y'all dating? Like, are y'all just dating where you're talking to multiple people? Or are you guys actually in a relationship? Where if you're in a relationship, then it's kind of like, okay, you have that, you have valid points to feel the way you feel, like, why is he talking to this person? But
hmm
if you don't want him to talk to that person, then you need to tell him, okay, you need to make me your girlfriend because I'm not going to be just dating you while you're dating other people.
yeah. My wife, she did that because there was rumors around school that I was a quote unquote player, which I wasn't. I wasn't, but then like I remember I was in class and she was texting me. She was like, "So what are we?" And I just looked at it. I was like, you know what I mean? Because we kind of we were friends first, and then we
Yeah.
discovered that we liked. Well, not discovered, but I told her how I felt. She told me how she felt, and we moved forward. But then she called me out of my classroom, and we met like in the hallway. And she was like, "Look," she was like, "Look, um, what are we? Because I'm not just gonna be like."
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, "Yeah,
And I feel like that's also goes back to the person. Like, if you want someone to be in a relationship with you and you don't want them talking to other people, then you need to make a clear statement that, hey, I'm not just going to keep doing this with you while you're over here. Not just talking to people, because some guys or some girls, they be sleeping with other people too.
yeah,
And that's why they're not claiming you, because of the fact that they want to still have their free range. And maybe that's not the kind of person you want to be with. Maybe you want to be in a committed relationship where you feel like you're the only person. So I feel like cheating is it's a really broad topic as far
do
as,
you think um do you think like cheating should be, and if someone cheats in a relationship, it should be like an automatic termination of the relationship? Like,
honestly, depends on how the level of cheating, like the level, and it also depends on you as a person. Someone might cheat on you, and you might accept it and you might take them back, because you're a forgiving person. While you have other people who are, not as forgiving, where you cheat, bada boom, you're gone. And that's how I used to be
mm,
in past relationships. I was always the kind of person where you even text somebody like throughout the night, like y'all up late at night just texting. It's the opposite sex. Don't know who the girl is. Y'all are flirting. You know, that's how I used to be. Just the flirting. We're done. Like, don't even think about trying to get back with me. We're done. But I've kind of grown from that, where like I'm more forgiving now than I was back then. Things that I accept now, I used to not accept back then. So it honestly just depends on your perspective of what's serious and what's not serious. You sleep with somebody now, that to me is a turn off. Because I feel like that's like you're crossing the line. Like, now you're being intimate. And I believe in soul ties.
soul
So next
ties.
thing you know, and I feel like sleeping with someone leads to other stuff. Like, you could have got her pregnant, STDs, like just different things. And now it's like you're not only just sleeping with that person, but you're putting my health in jeopardy because you decided that you want to go out and you want to take it to that level with somebody else. And if you're that, and some guys might think, oh, it was just like a quick lay. And I don't think of it like that. I think of it like you're really trying to jeopardize my health right now. You have you have no kind of respect for me if you're gonna go out and sleep with somebody else while we're in the same relationship together. Now, if you want to do that while you're single, go ahead, be whatever you want to be, but don't try to do that with me. And especially when with cheating, it's not like the person. A lot of times in relationships, the person is not like, hey, babe, I did this, especially when they go out and sleep with somebody. Most of the times you find out. So they're not even upfront and honest about it. I would say like maybe 10 to 20% chance that a man or a woman is just going to go straight up to you and be like, hey, I'm feeling guilty right now. I went and I slept with this girl or guy. I feel like that's like the it point for me.
I was shout out to Cody and Bree. They have that podcast Together
Yeah.
We Serve. You heard their cheating one?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
Really good. And Cody said something that was really good about his definition of cheating, and I felt like, man, if I'm going to talk about cheating, I want to know what you think it is to you. So, what is considered cheating to you?
Okay, I guess I'll say the old and the new me. Okay, so the old me, like I said before, cheating was like just entertaining. So like just texting someone that I don't know who and then y'all are just flirting. That to me was like cheating, But as over the course of years, my definition of cheating kind of has shifted where I might not like it. Like, oh, I don't like that you just sent that girl heart eyes, because that's inappropriate. But I wouldn't necessarily consider that cheating. I consider cheating like kissing, touching, feeling.
The physical.
Not even just physical. It can still be conversation. I consider that cheating. Because now you're entertaining her to the point where she thinks that you're really interested in her, where you could possibly make her your girlfriend. I consider that cheating. So you don't even have to be physical with the person, leading the person on.
Leading the person on.
Yeah.
So the side like, so if it's a conversation, it's cheating. But if it's just like emojis or hey, that's a nice pig,
I feel
that's
like
not cheating.
It's how often you do it, I guess you could say. The build up to it.
Cody said to him, cheating is whatever you do
that you can't do in front of your spouse.
Similar to that.
I agree with that too.
He said whatever you do that makes you that you don't want your spouse to see or find out.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of thought about that. I was like, it's just like, because if we're just talking about the word cheating.
Yeah.
If I were to take a test, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't want the teacher to see me. You don't want the other person to see what you're doing. So you're cheating. You know. So
now that you're thinking about it, like, I guess in emojis and stuff, in my definition, still, what's the technically?
That's cheating to my wife. Like, if I send her an emoji or like just entertain, like just start talking to people that she doesn't know about. And things like that, flirting.
Okay.
That's cheating to her.
I kind of want to like read.
No, keep your opinion because
no. Because now I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, that is very true because that would still piss me off, and I would still might break up with you because of something like that. But I would say I would still consider it cheating, but I don't think that would be my breaking point for breaking up with you. So I would still consider sending emojis, flirting, things like that as cheating, but I don't know if that would give me enough push to want to break up with you. I feel like I would be. So
you're a real forgiving person
for that compared to like you going out and you're sleeping with somebody, or you're going out and you're kissing and touching all up on somebody. Now that is like a breaking point to me, but. And all of it is considered cheating to me when you're entertaining somebody else.
So that's basically what we wanted to talk about. Oh, last question, because we were talking about choosing to stay and things like that. Why is that looked down upon when a girl or a man, definitely I want to say definitely a man if they choose, because we'll ride you like if you choose to stay in a
With the
relationship.
girl who cheated on you.
Yeah, man.
It is looked down
No,
on
it's
as a
really
man,
looked
yeah.
down on, and I don't think that's good. I don't look down on people. I'm not saying. I just been around like on the basketball court and things like that when
like dang,
yeah, like why
she
you
done
still
slept
with
with that man,
or what
you
friends say
still with her?
behind
Yeah.
a certain dude's back, like why he's still with her, like
Yeah.
he's wow,
Like
but
you tripping, man.
yeah, exactly.
There's so many fish. Yeah, I know
But
how
why
y'all
people
guys be talking.
why people look down on that? Why do you think? That's a tough question.
I would say that goes back to like being a man. Like you're supposed to
But
people,
even
you're
women,
supposed to be like that. Like, oh, well, I feel like a lot of times women or men look at other men like, oh, you're supposed to be that dominant. Like, so you're just gonna let her do you like that. Like now she's the dominant because you just let her play you.
right?
And now you're staying with her,
girl,
and
like
she's the one that's running your relationship now.
Right.
So I feel like that's a lot of times people look at that as that because it's like the man is supposed to be like the person over the house and
Leader
the dominant in the relationship, just like traditional, how tradition is, people see it as that. So I could see that being a reason why people will look at a man who lets his woman cheat on him all the time and still with her, you know? But
what about for a woman that stays with a man that cheated?
I feel like a lot of times,
like, because even in the shade room, we all be in the shade room. So if someone cheats, like I love the comments in the shade room. It's a love-hate relationship because the comments be stupid sometimes. But man, they'll be getting like blown up about staying with the person, even though that person did the wrong. And I personally feel like, first of all, it's none of my business. But you don't know the level of commitment and love that person
or that
has.
relationship.
That relationship,
and like,
right? So
I don't necessarily feel just because you made that one mistake that defines your relationship. Because your relationship can be very strong, and you made that one mistake. It doesn't define your relationship.
Yeah.
It depends on how you move forward from the mistake that defines your relationship. So I feel like a lot of women are same boat, like looked on as down on when they stay with a man who has cheated on them because you think like she can do so much better, like especially like the pretty women, like dang, she is so pretty, she's just letting this man just dog her, and like she could get this like she could get whoever she wants and she's still with this man who's treating her bad and she's too fine for that, you know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of times women stay with them because they feel like the man still has a lot to offer them. But I would say, definitely they get looked down on because of that whole factor of she can be with whoever she wants to be with, but she still chooses to be with you.
Very true, man. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Najeen, we definitely appreciate you elevating with us today.
Of course.
Thank you for bringing your young, handsome man over there. But, thank you for elevating with us. This was episode 3. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and tune in next week. We got more content. Thank you.